Hello, and we will be talking about clarinet today. Firstly, with clarinet, we will talk about our reeds. Now, our reeds we soak inside of water because our spit is acidic, and the reed is the first thing that will produce our sound, produce the vibrations. So we want to take care of it. And instead of using something that's acidic, we use something more basic like water, which also the cane cane of the reed has probably not seen water or moisture for at least a couple of years. So the best thing to introduce you to is water. And as you see, it's just a small pill container or any container that holds water. You can just soak your reeds in there while you put your clarinet together, which should be enough time for it to soak and not over soak it, make it like floppy or weak or anything. First, let's take our mouthpiece and make sure that it's loose enough to come up a little. And we will slip our mouthpiece cap on while our reed soaks. We will take our bell in our left hand. It may be reversed, I'm not sure, but this is my left hand. Grab the bell firmly. Next, you will take your lower joint and you'll have 3 points of contact. One over this pad, the pinky over this pad, and wrap your fingers gently. And then on the back, your third point of contact will be with the back of the clarinet. You will twist and without forcing it too much. If you're forcing too much, then you need to put more cork grease on or ask a band director or someone or a mentor to fasten it for you. Next, you will take the upper joint of the clarinet. 1 second. And you will wrap your middle finger over the pad here. And then you'll wrap the other fingers around gently so you're not bending any keys. The reason that we're pressing on these pads instead, and with our 3 points of contact and our 1 and then all of that is so we don't bend our keys, because the clarinet has so many keys that it can bend and mess up one little thing, or a pad could be off place, anything. So first, let me take this out. Next, we will wrap our fingers with our 3 points of contact and our thumb on the back, and we will fasten our upper joint on the lower joint. Now, if you see, our bridge key is perfectly aligned so that when I press these bottom lower joint keys, it will move this upper joint key as well. That's how you know it's in alignment. If it's even slightly unaligned, it will squeak, squeak, and squawk. So it's very important to make sure it's aligned. Next, we will put just our barrel on. That can just be fastened on, and you want to make sure to grab somewhere near this top part of the clarinet because there's no keys that you need to grip super hard. So I like to make a little ring and fasten on. Now, next, we have our mouthpiece. We'll put our mouthpiece on the clarinet. Just slip it in there. Now, the last part will be adding the reed on. For this, you'll want to make sure from the front, you'll make sure that your ligature is facing to the right. You will also make sure that when you put the reed on, the ligature stays on rather than putting the ligature on top of the reed, because that's a risk of breaking it. So, and then when you see the reed, it'll be a thin black line at the top so that at the back there's a thin white line, if you can see it, or a thin line of the reed. That's how you know that your reed is in the correct place. Line up your ligature, and you do not need to fasten super tight. You don't need to fasten over tight it or over fasten it and break it potentially. But make sure that it is aligned with the register key. Make sure that your bridge key is aligned. And in my case, it is, as well as checking for it. If you can see it, this is the bridge key right there. You should have an entire clarinet. And when you're not playing on it, it is best to put your mouthpiece cap on to prevent breaking reeds because they are expensive, but also your mouthpiece because mouthpieces are also expensive. But you have your entire clarinet together. Now with taking it apart, it'll work pretty similarly, but you'll start with the reed first. You'll take just the reed off, put it back in its case. Start with the mouthpiece. Back side of its reed, or in the mouthpiece cover. Barrel. 1, 2, 3, wrap. Twist lightly with your upper joint. Next you have your lower joint, your 1, 2, and 3. Lower joint and your F. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful.